Okay, so in order for this shroud to fit inside of this piece, we need to cut. So what I did is I cut along this line. I did a little bit of trial and error until I figured out the best possible cut. So you see my F up right there. I messed up right there, but the best possible way for this to fit inside, I did a bunch of test fittings. So what I would do is I would put it inside of this lens. I put it in and I test fit it as I would put it on, and I'd mark it up and see where I have to cut and do all of that. So that's gonna happen in the next step. But now I wanna show you guys what to do with the blinker wire. So I took out this bulb because I don't need it anymore. So now what we're gonna do is tap into the white wire with the provided blinker plugins that I got with the BOV Group drivers. So now I'm gonna do a little wraparound. I'll wrap this up and I'll JB weld it and I'll put it back in, and we'll do that and we'll get working on the lens. So without further ado, let's do it. Okay, I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but as goopy and as sticky it is, JB Weld didn't work. So I basically have the LED eyebrow for one of them and for the vision rings for the other one. That's the switch back. So we're gonna do it, plug it in to the respective points, and it should relay into the stock blinker housing. So now whatever you're gonna do is whenever you plug it into the car, you wanna go into using beamer code or however you code it, code out the setting for standard blinkers and change it to LED so we don't have any interference with the FRM module, because that is the last thing you want to go out. That is a very expensive repair, and I have done that before and it sucks. So make sure whenever you tap this in, make sure it's a nice connection in there and it's not going to go anywhere. So let's move on to the next step of test fitting the shroud and closing the headlight all together and putting it back on the car. Let's go. Okay, so I made sure everything fits. I cut the shroud to whatever specification I needed to. Just kind of eyeballing it. I got the eyebrow in there. You don't need to secure anything. So what you're gonna do first, if you have a carbon fiber eyebrow with the Vision Rings kit, what you're gonna do is put the eyebrow in at top. It'll slide in at this corner. Second step, you wanna put this corner bezel in. It doesn't screw in anywhere. I mean, the screws were missing whenever I took this thing apart. So all I had to secure it down was with the shroud, and then you want to slide the shroud into this corner and it'll kind of lock into this tab right here. It's upside down, sorry. And yeah, you want to go underneath, pull the carbon fiber eyebrow above the shroud. You see how it's above, it's going in there. It goes underneath. Sorry about the bad angle, sorry about that. But yeah, so you want to assemble this. I made sure it fit. I just did a little test fit. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my glue. I recommend you guys use, where is my dang headlight glue? There it is. Okay, I recommend you guys use Morimoto Automotive Lighting Benchmark Retro Resealing Glue. It's on Amazon. It's like I don't remember, 20 bucks, something like that. And it'll last you like 4 headlights. So I've done my previous car, or my current car, my M3, with that, the one you guys saw previous in the video. I did that headlight, and I have one more headlight. It looks like I've got a lot more actually. So here, let's pop this thing open. So now that I'm looking at it, it looks like I have like 2 or 3 headlights to do. So you get a lot of supply because you're actually going to be stretching this most of the part. It's very elastic, and you're going to be putting it in. Let me kind of show you how we're going to be putting it in. So get a little sample, get a little piece. What I would do is I would seal from the bottom, because think about it, condensation, water will drip to the bottom, and if you have water coming in from the top, you don't want there to be a gap at the top, so you want water to be coming out. If anything, the easiest entrance for water should be at over here, but still you want to have like a perfect seal. But any little discrepancy, you want to make sure that nothing is open at the top. So you're going to be getting this, kind of stretch it out, and it's very stretchy, and you're going to go along the entire headlight and bring it back. Let me show you what it's going to look like afterwards. Let's go. Okay, so I just put some seal around the entire headlight, and look, barely anything is gone. It just took one little revolution. So you could do a lot of cars with this roll. I recommend using this. And I actually got it from another guy on YouTube that I learned how to do my headlights off of, and he recommends it as well. And I really like the product. So what you guys want to do here is tap it down, tap the seal down so it's flat and it's flush. This way, whenever you're putting the headlight on, it's a little bit easier. Whenever you're putting the lens on, excuse me, it's a little bit easier. And see, this is where I did the cut off. Might have to trim some of that excess seal off, but it's okay. The more, the better, and it's safer. And we had a little bit of a misplacement right there. So you want to go around and just make sure everything's flat. I'll be back once everything's tapped down. Next thing you want to do is you want to use a heat gun, heat everything up, and carefully place the lens onto the headlight, and we will resume whenever that is finished. Okay, so the build is pretty much complete. I put the lens back on with the heat gun. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this when it's back on the car. But yeah, as a preventative thing, I went around, and I'm gonna clean this once it's dry. I'm just gonna pick at it when it's dry. Flex Seal, it's this guy, Flex Shot or whatever it's called. It's like a rubber seal that I'm gonna, just as a preventative thing, just in case the headlight glue is not as good or whatever. I just stick this on just in case he takes it to a car wash, or if I take it to a car wash, I don't want any water getting in there, and I don't want to open this thing back up. So took some time. It took me about 3 days. This is my second build. This is my second set of headlights, and it took me about 3 days. If you guys want to complete this project, give yourselves about, I'd say, a week to be safe if you're going to be painting. And this was not the best possible job. There was a lot of things with messing up with paint, a lot of tape, and a lot of crap and whatnot, because this had been previously built, and whoever built it previously was not doing a good job at all with preventing the paint to peel, because every time I touched it, the paint would peel and it would look chrome underneath, because that means he didn't sand it. So whenever you guys do take apart things, sand them down before you paint, and make sure you're very thorough, make sure it's very smooth, and you want to make sure that you don't have any issues afterwards. So I put these together. They look really, really nice. I'm very happy with how they came out. Now I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and wait until this Flex Seal stuff dries. Put the bracket back on the headlight, this guy. Put that other bracket back on that headlight. Figure out the wiring, put it back on the car, and call it a project. Hopefully it works, and thanks for watching. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so after about, I'd say 38 to 40 hours, the process is complete. Before I get the bumper back on, I want to show you guys. This is what you guys should be going for. It is a beautiful, beautiful new set of headlights. These vision rings are really doing it. Really, really doing it. So I got the headlights all bolted in and the plug plugged in from the back. I'm gonna get this bumper in, and then I'll probably go and check for codes, take the car for a test drive, use the blinkers to see what's going on, and yeah, go from there. I'll see you when the bumper's back on.